So we got a little bit of mail call action today and got in some ammunition from AR Tactical. We got some Jules S-type shaped projectiles that we're going to be at some point here real soon. We're going to be shooting out of the Intrabuster Gen 2, since we know that we can use shaped ammunition in this marker. I guess they must have run out of the 8 gram because this all measured out the 6 gram in the 8 gram package. So, but that's all right, no big deal. I think I actually ordered the 6 gram. So, but I noticed a little mess up on the labeling there. So I got 6 of these out of the package for us to weigh up and kind of see what kind of consistencies we're seeing with the manufacturing of this ammo. What kind of ranges and weight we have here. So we'll start with measuring these out weight wise. 6 of these. I did measure the whole bag of 25, but we're just going to do 6 here. So the first S-type is 5.78 grams. And then we have 5.78 again. 613 grams. 6.10 grams. 5.87 grams, so a little under there. And a perfect 6 grams, which is what they're supposed to be. So there's our range, right? We got a little bit of a fluctuation from just a little under 6 grams to as high as, like, I think it was 6.13 grams. So this is our perfect 6 grams. So this is the one I'm going to go ahead and check and see what it comes up for on this paintball gauge. So we have here, I think I banged the camera. Sorry if I did, guys. Got the hat in the way. All right, so what we have here, let's first try it through the .678 caliber. And believe it or not, it does slide through that. All right, so this 6 gram one does slide through. All right, so it's kind of on the small side. Certainly it goes through the 681. And of course it goes through the 684 with ease. So just a slight push and it's coming through here. So it's a little bit smaller than 68 caliber. Okay, so I don't think it's going to get stuck in anybody's gun, being that it's that small. And then again, this is the one that measured out 6 grams. Okay, 6 grams exactly. Goes through there. Let's find one that measured out a little bigger. All right, 612, right? Well, and now it's saying 6.14. All right. So here, this is probably the larger one. Let's see if it goes through. All right, so that one, it's not going through the 678 sizing. Let's see if it comes through the 681. Okay, with a very light push, you do have to push it a little bit. It'll hold in there. But with a light, snug little push, it's pushing through the .681. On here, on the 684, drops right through. Okay? So on the high end, okay, you're looking at a snug 681. Okay, so again, I think it's going to go through pretty much all of our barrels, no problem. All right, and that's on the high end. On the low end, it's not even 68. It's going right through that. Okay. We can put the calipers on here. See what we get. Again, this is the one that weighed perfectly, came out perfectly to be 6 grams. Yeah, so 677. That's what the caliper's saying. And again, I think this one went through the 678. So that makes sense. Doesn't go through 675. At least not completely. There's a taper to the ammunition, so it's a little bit fatter in the back. Okay. So it looks like from the, from this, the 6 gram all the way to the 6.14 gram, you're going to be safe. You're no larger, no bigger than 681. So I don't think it's going to give anybody a problem. Okay. So that is the S type that I got. I'm going to move that, put that over here, and we're going to measure up the, what's next? We're going to go with the 8 gram 685 joules. I'm going to measure those next. So I bought 3 different ammunitions. I bought the S type 6 gram, bought the regular 8 gram joule, size for 685, and I also bought a where is it? A 10 gram 684. So let's go ahead and we'll measure up the 8 gram. It's supposed to be a 685, which I'm hoping these actually run a little smaller than that. I'm hoping, because my Pistelli barrel is a 685. And I think the Intrubuster Gen 2 is between might be a 686, so we might be okay running these. So, again, we're just going to measure 6 of these for now. All right, I'm going to need this. Let me zero that out. All right, so let's measure up these 8 gram 685s. And we're over 8.27 grams. 8.27, that's consistent. 8.27, so very consistent on the ball ammunition. 8.27 again. Unlike the shaped ammunition, it was all over the place. This is more consistent, another 8.27. And 8.27, so they got the production down really well when it comes to the ball ammunition. This is a real nice looking ammunition here. Looks good. However, on their S type, it looks like it kind of fluctuates pretty wildly. But as long as it's going to go down the barrel, like I said, it's the most important part. All right, so this is supposed to be an 8 gram .685. I don't have a 685. I have a 684 and a 687. So let's start with the 687. Oh yeah, goes through that all day long. 8.4. Does not go through the 8.4. Well, wait a minute. If I turn it, it does. Wait a minute. All right. I guess one way it wouldn't, but it does seem to be going through there if you turn it. So it's a very I would say it's a very tight 684. But it is going through, so maybe I'd be able to run this down my 685 barrel. I'll have to do a test first with the barrel naturally, and always do that, guys. Even if you check it on a ball gauge like this, probably a good idea to try to push it through your barrel before you try to push it through the barrel with gas in it. All right, I wish I had a 686 on this, but I don't. I got 687, but it looks like it might work. Let's see what we get on the calipers here. And this is not the best way to measure ball ammunition, because I could be measuring, not grabbing it at the right angle here. Yeah, 682 is what the caliper thinks it is. Now it's 684, 685. So I'm getting some varying readings. Let's see what the highest reading I get is. 684 again. 684. 685. All right, well, the good news is that its highest point on this ball, the most I'm getting is 685. Probably why they call it 685. Error on the side of caution, right? Okay. So again, these were all consistently weighing in at, well, at that time they were weighing in at 8.27. Now it's saying 8.28. So I probably have a little flake of dust or something on here. But anyways, they were all weighing very consistent. So, all right, so that's the 8 gram joules at 685, or a very snug 685, let's call it, or a loose 684. All right, and let me go ahead and put those back in here, and we're going to measure out the 10 gram stuff next. Next up is the 10 gram AR Tactical joules. It's supposed to be 684. These I got from my Pastelli, my 685 barrel, so at least these should be good to run through. Again, we're just going to take a little sample. I'll take a little sample here. 2, 4, 6. All right. The 8 gram 684, a little under 9.90. 9.90. So far consistently under 9.90, 9.88, even a little bit less, 9.90, 9.88 again. Okay, so for those 6 rounds, they're kind of consistently under 10 grams, but it's what AR Tactical is calling their 10 gram. Okay, their 10 gram ammunition. And let me get one of the larger ones to see here. Which one was larger? Oh yeah, good job. Now none of them in this scale. This guy must have got something on it. Anyways, let's move on to measuring the size, physical size here. So they say it's a 684. I do have a 684. And indeed, with ease, no matter what way you turn it, doesn't get stuck. Goes through the 684 just fine. What about 681? Nope. Ain't going through 681. Oh, wait a minute. I turned it and it did go through. All right, did for a second there. It's messing with me now. All right, I wouldn't call it a 681. I would definitely say it's a loose 684. So no problem there. It's probably even a 682 would be my guess, but it goes through the 684. They're calling it a 684. Okay. So no problem. That'll run down my barrel, my 685 barrel. Let's see what the calipers call it. 680. .681. It would not fit down the ball gauge at 681 though. Hmm. 683 now it's saying. That makes more sense for me. So depending on where you grab it on here. 683. Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably more 683. But like I said, it was a loose, went through the bore gauge, the ball gauge for 684 very loosely, so with ease. So yeah, all intents and purposes here, we're looking at a 684. I think that's pretty accurate. However, they're not as heavy as they say to be. They claim them to be a 10 gram ball. None of them were even 10 grams, at least out of this sample of 6. I mean, I can weigh the rest of the bag at some point, but I don't think you guys want to watch me do that. So, all right, that's the 3 ammunition that I got in the mail here from AR Tactical. I got their 8 gram joules at 685 and their 10 gram joules at 684 and their S-type joules at 6 gram shaped ammunition. All right. That's all here. We'll be shooting those pretty soon.